What's up, YouTube? So, today's topic, I'm going to talk about this. So, what I never understand about people making YouTube videos about spirituality, I mean, I do understand where they're coming from, but I never understand why they'll say certain shit like, because most people in the spiritual community, they always say some shit like, okay, either the reason why you experience so much narcissistic abuse, or narcissistic trauma, and all this abusive, horrible shit happened to you. Some people in some YouTubers say that, oh, it's because God purposely puts you through these things so you can learn lessons, so you can evolve, and you can help other people. But that same individual will also say, and all these YouTubers, they'll say the same shit or they'll say something similar. I think I might be guilty of this too. But there's a pattern where they'll say like, you experience all this abuse, you experience all this bullshit because God purposely puts you through these things, right? So you could learn and evolve and learn lessons. So God is testing you. But yet these same people will also say, when you experience a lot of abuse and narcissistic toxicity, these same people who inflicted all those pain towards you, these same people will get karma, or like these same people, they're gonna pay for what they've done, or like they're gonna get punished, and then they'll tell their life stories on how karma got them and shit like that. But I'm just thinking like first he just said the reason why you experience those things from these same people is because God is purposely putting you through these situations so you can learn lessons, and so God is testing you. But at the same time, you're also going to say these same people who do that shit, they're going to get karma and punished. Now I understand what they're coming from, but what I'm saying is like, so why is it that, okay, so let's say their philosophy is true, let's say it's correct, right? And I understand sometimes you can't overthink situations, you can't think too much about it. I get it, but one, I'm bored, and two, I get annoyed by these spiritualists and shit like that, so I might as well just make it. And I'm saying I'm guilty of this too. Like sometimes I'll say some shit like this too, but like just make it make sense. Comment down below if this makes sense. So why is it that, like, let's say if that philosophy is true, let's say life or God will purposely put you through abusive situations, right? But yet, so God could test you, so you can learn lessons, right? Or whatever the fuck that means. And then once you're done, these same fucking people who done harm to you, they're going to get karma and punishment, right? And their lives are going to fall apart according to these chosen one channels. These same people who always make videos about chosen ones, they always say like, oh, God purposely put you through this shit, so God is testing you. And these same people will also say, these same people who done those things, they're going to get punished and tortured, right? But how I look at it is this. Let's say if God is real. I don't know if God is real or not, but let's just say, for example, God is real. Let's say their philosophy is correct. God is real. God purposely put you through these things, right? So if these people are going through these things and these people are getting karma for that, why now are they just getting karma? If karma is a real thing, then why do they keep doing the same shit? Why do people keep doing the same shit then? Why now all of a sudden you put a chosen one or a highly favored individual into certain family bloodlines to break generational curses or to experience life dealing with toxicity and narcissism, right? And then they experience all this abuse. So the same people who inflict all these pain, why are they getting karma hurting a specific person? If these same people are hurting multiple people, are they not getting their karma? Are they not getting punishment? Why is it they're hurting a specific chosen one? They're going to get punished for that. And why now all of a sudden, if they're narcissists from the jump, if they're toxic from the jump, why couldn't they get punishment from fucking like years ago or some shit like that? I don't know. I mean, I do understand where they're coming from, but at the same time, this is what I'm getting at. And when it comes to spirituality, when it comes to perspectives and philosophy, sometimes you can't think too much into it, so be careful. Me, I'm guilty of this as well, but the reasons why I like watching the videos of them talking about people getting their karma or people getting, like, their lives are going to fall apart for harming you, is so it could give me comfort, because there are times where, like, I've also experienced people who would do me wrong, and I'll see them get away with it, right? And it just seemed like karma never happened to them. This is why I watch these videos, so I could get comfort. So it's kind of like a comfort zone, knowing that, like, yes, these people will get punishment and shit like that. But again, when it comes to karma, when it comes to people doing others wrong, I'm not sure if karma is the real thing, I'm not sure if people who do it wrong, I'm not sure if they would get that same energy back. I really do not know, but let's just say if it is a real thing, right? It's kind of fucked up how like when people will inflict harm into other people and they'll and like it sucks how like life or God or spirit, they'll block you from witnessing these people getting their karma from doing you wrong. It's really fucked up. If anything, I've seen the opposite where like the same people, even family members who would do me wrong, and then I'll check up on them or I'll check up through their social media and shit like that, and like their lives are flourishing. And I've seen this in person, not just with social media. And I understand that sometimes when people do you wrong, you can't look at their social media because social people are only gonna post their achievements and success, and they're gonna pretend to be happy on social media. I understand that, but what I'm saying is that like it's kind of fucked up how like where me, well, I'm not sure how this for other people, but I've experienced situations where people would do me wrong and shit like that, and then they'll just get away with it, or like they'll post their achievements and how and they seem very happy on social media and shit like that. Or like, I'll see in person where like they don't seem affected on the things they've done. You know what I'm saying? Why there's so many fucking cars, bro? Oh, hang on. I'm about to go turn around. Always fucking cars, like, god damn. Like, whenever I'm trying to go for a walk or like I'm trying to mind my own business when I'm out in nature and shit, there's always fucking like vehicles and shit and fucking people. Fucking hate that shit. But it's like at an open setting, at a nature, people always gotta fucking bring their vehicles or just doing some stupid shit, making all this noise and shit, whatever. But or either that or like I've noticed whenever there's open areas within nature, a lot of people bring their vehicles or like they'll build fucking houses or they'll do some type of construction around these open areas and shit. I fucking hate that. It is what it is though. That's my opinion. We all have opinions. But where was I? Where was I? Yeah, but I've experienced where like people will like do me wrong and stuff, and like they just seem to get away with it. And I've seen this shit in person, or like they'll seem so unbothered by what they're doing, and they'll just move on with their lives, while I'm stuck with the pain, while I gotta process all of the bullshit I had to go through. So I don't know, man. It's just comment down below if you experience the same thing, if you've seen people get their karma. Me personally, to be honest with you, I've never seen anyone got their karma on the things they've done to me, like from family members to like people who don't even know me, done me wrong, like, and I never see them get their karma. So I don't know if karma is a real thing or not, but you know what I'm saying? We'll just see how it is as life plays out. Maybe I will never see them get their karma, but I've booked tarot readings. I've heard stories on YouTube of people claiming that like the same people who do others wrong, they'll get their karma, or like their lives are gonna fall apart depending on how much they've hurt you. So hopefully it is a real thing, but if not, then it is what it is. And if that's the case, he's got to move on with life and stuff like that. So if you're experiencing that situation, just know that like you got to keep your head moving forward. Just keep on your heart, keep on your passions and stuff like that. And also just do what you got to do to live life to the best of your ability. Make sure you do the healing work, and just know that if people are doing you wrong and it just seems like you're not seeing them get their karma, don't even trip about it, man. Like, and it gets tricky because everyone's situation is different. There are times where you have to cut someone out, you have to put someone in their place, you have to go off at someone to defend yourself. Because how I look at it, there are certain situations where like people would do me extremely wrong, right? And that person is still present in my life, and this person is still doing the same shit. And there are times where I'm like, okay, I'll let karma handle it. I'll let life deal with that situation. And when ain't shit happening, then I'll handle this shit myself. And then I'll go off at that person. I'll cuss that person out. And then I'll try to fight that person. You know, cause obviously karma's not doing shit. So it gets tricky. But I've also heard people say that like, the people who do a lot of people wrong, people who always do some bullshit towards other people and just throw that negative energy towards life, I've heard theory, or I've heard situations where like people will say these same people who do shit like that, they actually do get their karma. But the thing is, these people are so fucking toxic. They're so unaware. Even though they still get hit with karma, but yet they still don't understand the lessons, and they still do the same shit, and they still keep getting hit with karma over and over again. You know what I'm saying? And that's the case, and that shows how low some people mindsets are. It shows how the type of people we're dealing with. Like people, their mindset, their vibration is that fucking low that they'll do other people wrong without them even realizing it. Most of the times they are aware of what they're doing, but since karma, I don't know, man, it gets complicated. But how I look at it is this, right? Let's say karma is a real thing. These same people who would do other people wrong and they don't get their fucking karma, like it shows how, I mean, and they do get their karma, I mean to say, it just shows how weak karma is. Because if karma's constantly hitting a specific person and it won't affect them to the point where like they can't change their ways, it shows how less severe, or it shows how weak karmic energy really is. And I'm not saying, oh, just because I'm talking about karmic energy is weird, I mean, it's weak and shit like that like you should go out and harm people and do some bullshit because karma is not going to inflict as much pain. You just never know. I feel like the more spiritually aware and self-aware and genuine a person is, I feel like if they were to do certain bullshit towards other people, I feel like they'll get hit with karma the hardest. But there's also other things where people also talk about how energy plays out. It's a lot to explain. It's very complicated. I will make this video longer, but again, it's a lot to explain. But and there's other perspectives and theories about it too. At the end of the day, it's all about energy. It's all about like, shout out to Chauncey One. I know what he said, but I don't remember the exact words, and I don't want to accidentally twist up his words. But he did mention that like some people's karma is to be fucked up. And shout out to Chauncey One because he mentioned that like, some people's karma is to be fucked up. Some people's karma is to be so mentally distraught, is to be so mentally fucked up. Is that like, that's the reason why you see serial killers and other people do some bullshit and they just seem to get away with it and they've done it for so long. You know, shout out to Chauncey because he mentioned, because like these same people, like it's part of their karma, it's part of their purpose to do so much negative shit towards other people because it's who they are. It's what they credit for themselves, you know what I'm saying? So it's so hard for them to get out of that situation, you know? Same thing with like rapists and child predators and shit like that. So shout out to him. And again, this is what I'm talking about. Like, this could be a long video. There's so much perspectives out there. But all I'm saying is like, it gets annoying where like people who do you wrong and it just seems like karma is not getting these people. Or like, I don't know, man. I'm not sure karma is a real thing. At times I do get doubtful, but it gets annoying where like when people do you wrong and now you got to pick yourself back up, and it just seems like their life is flourishing, or they seem so unbothered, or you never see or hear from that person again. So I mean, I've dealt with this a lot, so it gets annoying, but it just shows that I need a lot of healing work to do. But again, I've been experiencing this shit since like pretty much my whole life, or like but it's getting more intense as years go by. I've experienced this shit since 2017 up until now, so it's how this realm is. You know, this realm will constantly put you through some bullshit just so you can heal. And even when you heal, it's a long process. This is why like everyone experiences some type of blockages, because maybe this realm is a word that it's so fucking lame. That's the reason why people go through so much blockages and obstacles and setbacks, because in order for you to get certain things in life, you got to go through so much bullshit in life. You know what I'm saying? Versus if you were to never go through certain shit and all these obstacles, if you were to get those things, it'll just show you that this life ain't shit. Life is already ain't shit. Life has nothing to offer. Life is fucking evil. Everything's controlled. Everything is controlled by fucking paper money. But what I'm saying is, life will be life will like put a lot of people or certain people through some shit, because it'll keep them more engaged with life. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'll keep them more engaged with life. That's why you see certain people who seem very intelligent, who seem very like brilliant, but yet they struggle with addictions or they struggle with certain blockages and setbacks in life, is maybe because they're a very like strong spirit, a powerful soul who has a very important soul mission, but life is aware of that, so they'll give them just all this bullshit setbacks and blockages because they're aware of how powerful they are, and so they could just be more engaged with life. Because maybe my theory is that like people, like the stronger the spirit, the more important your soul mission is. I feel like the less you give a fuck, the less these people will give a fuck about life because they can already see through the bullshit of life. So that's their life will keep them kind of stuck, and so they could be more engaged with life. Because in order for you to overcome setbacks and blockages, you have to be more engaged with life. You know what I'm saying? And people talk about this, that like in order for you to attract certain shit, you have to be in the energy. Shout out to Chauncey, because he mentioned something like you have to be in the right alignment, you have to release blockages, but you also have to get the memo. You have to understand who you're trying to become, and then you get those things pretty much. But hopefully this makes sense. But this video's all over the place. This is a rant, but I'm just speaking my mind, man. It's bullshit. But like, comment, subscribe, and let me know about your thoughts, and have a good one. Peace.